We're live on YouTube and just making sure to test to make sure that everything's working correctly. Going live. And we're live on Periscope. To everybody out there, hello, hola, Konnichiwa, Salaam, Ciao Namaste. Peace to all. This is the Pink Elf in the Room conversation. And we are going to finish our discussion on transhumanism. Let's simply start off with where we partially left off, with different rights for each person. In order for us to even allow this to be a thing one way or another, we would have to be willing first to get past how a person looks. Like I said, if you can't deal with someone with puppy ears, cat ears, or whatever they want to add to their body, how are you going to deal with someone who's polka dotted? How are you going to deal with someone who's indigo? How are you going to deal with someone who's completely red? How are you going to deal with someone who's completely jet black? Our species hasn't learned even the basics of being kind and fair to people of different colors. And this is something that has to be worked on still to this very day. That being said, how would you expect to be okay with someone just because they teched out their body with different technologies and everything? You would have to be willing to get past that. And again, like I said earlier, it would be unimportant personally to me to do any of that because of the fact that you naturally have these capabilities. You are naturally capable of heightening your own body, but you have to be willing to study it and to train your body and to exercise it both physically and mentally. This is what I discuss when I'm talking about when you want to unleash psychic abilities. You don't need some type of technology to create that. You need to practice using the psyche. You need to exercise the third eye. You need to exercise the psyche, the soul itself, because the soul is the sound. It is the one that, it's pretty much the ear of the psyche or the psychic abilities to begin with. In order for you to do that, you have to be willing to train yourself to do those things. For some people, they would think that is just too much work, but it depends all on the person, and it also depends on how far you go. You'd be amazed. Some people, it might come naturally to them. For other people, it might not, and that's where you have to practice. It's even practicing to be your highest form. There are some people who naturally can be their highest form of being the kindness and the truth within them. And there are some people, including myself, who have to work each and every day to get to that. It doesn't matter if it's friends, families, or whatever relationship you're in. It's something that has to be practiced. And then there's others where it comes naturally to them because of who they are and how they've grown themselves upon the years. When you grow past that, it is easier for a person to genuinely love anyone no matter how they look. We still haven't gotten past simple things. I've always seen this. This is something I've observed, give or take, if someone wants to express who they are as a person to their family might not accept it. And that is only one prime example. There are many. You have people who will judge people who are in higher power, and you will have those in higher power who will judge people who are not. And it's interesting Because what it tells is how far we need to go to grow and evolve ourselves and get past that point and be willing to be more than who we are. Nature, to me, is vitally important for the simple fact of it's what makes your planet go round. You can create all the technology you like, but much of that technology can do poison to your body. And of course, you can always do it and gain that immortality at some rate. That is your choice, if you so desire. But asking yourself the simple question, is it worth it? Is there a reason to? If you feel there's a reason to, then go for it. But if there truly is no reason and you're just doing it to do it, then it might not be beneficial. To the person who loses an arm, it might be beneficial. Or loses part of their face, it might be beneficial. But for some people, it might not, because you have the capability. But again, then we lead on to there might be some people who want to be a certain way and look unique in their own way. So it might be beneficial to them. It's all up to the person. But again, it still will always lead back to the fact that it starts with us being fair and kind and caring to each other. We cannot start off evolving our technology until we evolve the selves. We've had centuries upon centuries of different civilizations who in ancient times had these technologies. When we talk about Egypt, when we talk about the land of Mu, when we talk about Atlantis, when we talk about the Mayans, and so on and so forth, had the technology to create such things, but allowed technology to become their gods and rule over them, allowing them to destroy what they truly already had. We were already evolved and advanced past the levels of where we are now. The question is, can we now separate ourselves from the technology and see how amazing we are to be able to create whatever we desire? Are we able to do that? That is something truly extraordinary that we have to ask ourselves as people. I've heard of this movie coming out called Player One. It's interesting, but you still have to ask yourself, is going into a different world and not growing and evolving yourself in this world working? Does it work? Does it benefit your growth and evolution? Both mentally, emotionally, physically. Does it help? That is a question that should come to mind. There's no reason for me to leave the physical world because of the fact that you can actually leave it if you can actually leave the physical world, and actually you do leave the physical world every night due to your body due to the stress that your soul has to take on your body. It needs to sometimes leave. Actually, it leaves all the time while you sleep in order to keep the balance of the body, the soul, and the mind. Will there be balance? Even if you're not using your body anymore? Or will it matter? Again, the choice is all up to you. Transhumanism is only one part of a future because there are many parts that you can create. We can create a world of nature. We can create a world of transhumanism. We can create actually a world of both. We can create something even far past all of those things. It all Depends on you seeing the beauty, the amazingness of who you are, the divinity of the God, the goddess, and the creator within who you really are. So we'll be done here for tonight. But to everybody out there, have a good morning, have a great afternoon, and a fantastic evening. Namaste.